Michelle Angelic, Truth and Integrity Warrior. Today is January 3rd, 2022. Today's topic is going to be about manifesting under pressure. Manifesting under pressure meaning we're supposed to be able to manifest by changing our thoughts and then manifest it into reality, right? We're always told to change our thoughts. But how we change our thoughts if what we're living is serious pressure? You know, how do we change the thought if the conditions and the environment isn't right, isn't what we want? And that's the key right there. That's a little secret. And I want to share what I just went through this past week because I'm living those conditions, right? I'm living through those experiences. And there's nothing better than being able to live the story, talk about the story while going through the experience and being able to write it out. Because people talk about how they manifested this and they thought that. Well, they don't tell their story until they're already successful. And I want to talk to the people who don't feel successful, who don't feel right, who can't handle the pressure because the pressures, we're faced with a lot of pressures, especially being this new year. We want to be able to manifest and create what we feel we want, but we can't change how we feel because how we feel is breaking us down and it hurts. It fucking hurts. And I want to get real about it. That's what I want to talk about. How are we going to manifest under pressure? Alright, so I had to change locations because it was too loud where I was at. Going back to what this video is about is how to change how we feel so that we can change how we think, so that we can manifest the reality that we want. A lot of people will talk about this once they've already succeeded, but I'm actually going to be talking about it when we're in the pit, you know, when we're in the middle, when we're in the zone of, I don't want to call it chaos, but we're not happy, you know, we ain't happy with where we're at. And so how do we change that fucking feeling? Because it's a feeling we got to change. So I wrote down a couple things to make sure that I don't get off track, because there's a lot that I could go off on, but I want to try to narrow it down to give some tools of operation to get out of the hole or the pit that we feel that we're in emotionally, because everything, you know, boils down to emotions. Right now, just Christmas just passed by, and I'm going to tell you what I went through that I had to pull myself up out of, and I was having a hard time with it, but I got out in about a week. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. It might not be your story, but the emotions will fit with a lot of people. And those emotions are of humiliation, ridicule, judgment, embarrassment, and just feeling like a fucking failure, you know? Feeling like a fucking failure. And getting that information is what I want to get out. So a lot of you might not know, but I'm going through a situation where I got to restart my whole life pretty much all over again. About to be 50 years old in the next 2 years. You know, I'm 48, and I still ain't got shit. I ain't got shit. I got a world of growth within inside of me, but I don't have anything on the outside to fucking show for it. Not a fucking thing. So, this feeling of being a fucking failure, of being embarrassed and fucking ashamed, you know, it really hit me on Christmas, on the 25th. You don't know that I left Mexico, I came over here to the U.S., I left everything over there, coming out here, and I'm starting new because I can't stand the solitude out there. I live in a little town in the middle of nowhere, and I don't connect with anybody. I mean, nobody. There's no communication. Like, there's no physical person there that I can talk to. And it's a very small town, mile wide, you know. Expands far out, but I'm just talking about the state of mind, and the amount of people are so limited that I have to come back. You know, I have to come back here to the U.S., and I gotta fucking start over. Literally. I left things I have behind out there, My kids are staying at different family members' places, and they're still there, because I don't have a place for them to stay. I'm sleeping on my sister's couch. She's giving me a place to stay while I try to restart, I got a brand that I started, and I can't seem to move, and it's just fucking stuck there. Yeah, I came out here so I can try to make communications and connections with human beings, try to move it, but I gotta fucking start all over again, and that shit really hit me at Christmas time. It really hit me fucking hard, and I know a lot of people, the holidays bring a lot of emotions out, because it just makes you fucking have to reflect. That's what it's about, having to deal with the reality and then having to fucking do something about it. I don't believe that there's a choice in to do this or do that. I only got one fucking thing to do, and that's come up out of this motherfucker. Come up out of it. I don't have a choice. The difference in this circumstance is I chose to leave to start anew instead of being forced on me. I made this choice to be unfucking comfortable. Made the choice to get out of my comfort zone, my comfortable house and my comfortable environment, so that I can push this brand, even if I got to start all over, even if my kids got to get displaced. They can't be in that solitude out there either. They need to grow. Now they're teenagers, and they early teenagers, and they got to expand and know a little bit about life. The 10 years I was out there off and on in Mexico helped them grow. They were there fully, but I was back and forth, and my mom's out there. To give you a little bit of background, but it was good for them. It was good for them. The 10 years they were there growing up as little kids, could be kids, no pressure from society that we're used to out here, and so I'm grateful for that. But now, like I said, I got to start again, and I got to deal with the reality when it sets in, and it sets in hard in the holidays. And so now that I give you a little bit of my background, where I'm at, or where my starting point is, and why I went through this breakdown, this emotional breakdown, right? It's Christmas, the 25th. My kids are not with me. I'm with my sister and her kids, and and they got their family, and they're together, and I'm not together. I'm not fucking together. I don't have a family. I got a broken up family to the point where I don't have my kids next to me, And so, what do my kids think about me? Mom don't even have a fucking place to be. And those are not what my kids think. Those are what I think, In reality, that's what I think. And so I started breaking down. Started fucking crying in my sister's kitchen, just saying, fuck, I'm doing this shit all over again. Starting all fucking over again. And I still ain't got nothing. Every single time I fucking restart, I end up with nothing. There's more information of my past. There's more information about my past, but breaking this down is, I recognize that if I can't change how I feel, I can't fucking pretend that everything's okay. And so we're taught that, just have fucking happy thoughts. Well, I can't have a fucking happy thought. I don't fucking feel happy. I'm not fucking happy. And so how can I pretend that everything is okay in my mind, in my mental state, right? When I say mind, I mean like in my mental, emotional state. How can I fucking pretend when I cannot? Can't fucking lie to myself. So I can't even say the words that I'm okay. I ain't fucking okay. I ain't fucking okay. So how can I be something and expect others to be something that I can't be for myself? And so my mind went back and forth. I'm fucking like with the tug of war in wanting to find the fucking answer. How do I help myself? How do I change this fucking feeling? And what fucking feeling do I have? I didn't know I felt like a fucking loser. I didn't know I was ashamed. I didn't know I was fucking embarrassed. I didn't know this until later that week. I laugh because, like I said, it's like a series of events that happened to me in a week that made me, at the end, be like, I fucking got it. I fucking got it, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys, is how to hack this, changing the feeling, or being able to get the thought that we want by changing the feeling. Because we can't locate that feeling, we can't change it, and we can't change the thought. thought will always be fucking running like a program, because that shit is real. Because in our environment is fucking real. Our environment tells us this is fucked up, and it is fucked up, you know. And everybody will have a different phase of fucked up. But if I'm seeing fucked up, how the fuck it's not gonna be fucked up? And maybe I'm saying the same word over and over, but you're feeling what I'm saying. And so I'm hearing these positive words. I'm trying to get these positive affirmations, and I had to write some down, you know, because I know that you guys hear them too. And they were making me mad. They were making me fucking mad. It was making me mad. It wasn't helping. And so we hear, you know, have patience. Everything's going to be okay. Think good thoughts. And show love, show kindness when you get that... Just whatever you have to do, we gotta replace it with love, right? All that shit was fucking making me mad. Like, literally, I wanted to get a fucking paddle and break it on something. When I say literally, that's how I felt. Not what I'm gonna go do, but that's how I felt inside. I just wanted to explode. That shit was making me mad because it wasn't fucking real to my reality. So I had to think of, what words do I got to replace for these actions that I know I have to fucking do? Like, I know I have to do these actions so that I can change how I feel, but these words ain't fucking helping me. And those are the words that are used when we're trying to find inspirational, transformational information, but that shit just makes me upset for my circumstance and my situation. And I know there's people out there that feel the same way. It's like, I can't hear that fucking, it sounds like noise. That shit sounds like noise. Tell me to have patience. That shit sounds like fucking noise to me, because I can't have patience under the conditions and circumstances. Maybe in the future when shit's comfortable, I can sit down and have some fucking tea and relax about it because my environment's relaxed. But right now it's not. Right now I don't have a fucking dollar to my name. I'm $500 in the hole between my business account and my personal account. And how can I fucking be relaxed? You know, I'm still looking for a job. Got to try to make some money so that I can make something happen. You know, so I can move fucking forward. So my conditions of my reality tell me shit ain't right. But I have to change how I fucking think so that I can manifest it into physicality. And I know it is true. I mean, there's a science to it, but how do I change this? How do I organize that shit within inside of me? And this was the epiphany that I had during this week. Was that I have to fucking override my fucking mind with my will. Because the only thing that I have is fucking force. I got a lot of fucking force inside of me. And a lot of you guys do too. Got a lot of fucking force, and you don't know what the fuck to do with it. And so what I want to do is show you how to utilize that force to a direction that we can actually benefit from, instead of it just ready to be explosive on the inside, right, and explode on the outside. So that force of will takes a fucking mind that is just so fucking headstrong, just like, oh, break something with it, just with the thought. So I know a lot of you guys out there have that force within you to mentalize what the fuck you want. And when I say that, it's because you're uncomfortable. Those are for people who are uncomfortable. People who are comfortable don't have that force. Haven't been pulled like a fucking rubber band, just ready to fucking snap. Their lives haven't pushed them that way. And I ain't saying one side's better than the other. I'm just saying I talk for people who are that rubber band, who have been pulled so far back that you got that force to poof, spring it forward with the same amount of veracity, right? And so I got to know what to do with this fucking force that I got inside that makes me want to fucking explode. And when I say it like this, this information is not for everybody. This information is people who can feel what I'm saying and feel like I feel. It's those people in the middle ground. Those people who are left in the middle, just like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do? How do I change how I feel if everything around me is all fucked up? Right? And so I had to change the fucking words. And let me show you what I did. I had to override with my force and change the words to be able to implement. And so when I would hear have patience, you know, you have to have patience, everything's gonna be okay, I said I have to fucking change that word. So I found hold your position. I gotta hold my fucking position. I gotta hold it fucking steady, because I'm gonna get to where the fuck I gotta go, but I gotta hold position. Now that made me feel a lot fucking better, because that made more sense to me, right? I hold this position because I'm going to get where the fuck I need to go. But if I don't hold it down, I'm gonna lose my shit. So that's one. The other one, think good thoughts. I had to change that because you can't stick in a good thought when you got a bad emotion. You got a good thought, bad emotion is a contradiction. So instead of thinking good thoughts, I had to accept my situation for what it was so that I can then let it go. Like I had to fucking just be in my sister's kitchen, for example. This last week I just had, when I was crying in her kitchen, I just had to fucking accept it. This is just where the fuck I am. I'm uncomfortable. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to find myself in this situation anymore. And this is the last round. I accept this situation. I accept this feeling. And now I got to let it go. And I actually stopped crying from there, right? Because I just had to accept. It's that constant, what do you want to say? It's almost like a conflicting, what my heart feels and what my mind thinks are two different things, and they're fucking battling inside and won't leave me the fuck alone. So I just have to fucking accept that feeling. My mind needs to know, or my brain needs to know that it's accepted, and let it go. And then that constant battle eases out. It's like smooth as water, no more friction with inside of me. So that made a big difference. Hold up, lost my book. And then when we're told that we gotta just surrender to peace and love, or if somebody says something or somebody does something, just show them love, that shit don't make no sense either. That shit don't make sense. To be humiliated, to be ridiculed, to be spoken down to, that don't make no sense. Let me just show you love. No, motherfucker, that don't make no sense. Now it makes sense once you've already processed and you in a relaxed condition that you can just let that shit go. But when you're under circumstances and that shit's in your face, it's like getting punched in the face and saying don't feel it. Oh, I feel it. But now what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? So instead of show love, it's, you're lucky I understand where you're coming from, so I don't put you in a fucking chokehold. You're lucky that I'm going to show you love and not put you in a fucking chokehold. That's my love to you. That I'm just going to walk away because I recognize it. You don't know no fucking better. That's my love to you. And so that shit makes sense to me. But I could just be like, all right, I'll show you love. No, motherfucker. My love is, you're lucky I don't put you in a fucking chokehold. I got to walk out of here and put my energy into something like a fucking punching bag, and that's going to help me release. And it does until I can get myself to a better circumstance where I don't even need to go hit the punching bag. But in the moment, you got to know what to do with yourself in the moment. The what we're taught don't make sense for a lot of people's reality that's in a lot of chaos. That shit don't make sense. So these are the outlets that I use, that I've had to create so that I can get through. So I can get through fucking circumstances that are real. This shit's real. And it's real for a lot of you out there, and I know it. That's why I make these videos. for the percentage of people out there who want to relate, but that shit don't make no sense in your reality. And so we have to will what we want with the force that we have, the intensity that we have, and these are some of the tools. Let me tell you what I went through again in these circumstances to get me to the point where I had to then be able to push away, recognize that I was going through feelings of shame and humiliation and ridicule that I had deep in my past, and I had no idea that they were causing me to feel like I feel right now, right? Well, I shouldn't say right now, but caused me to feel what I felt in this holiday season. Just the fact that the holiday season came up made emotions, those sad emotions of where am I at? I ain't got no family. I'm by myself. I ain't got a fucking dollar. I'm negative 500. I ain't got a job. All that shit's just running. And people say, well, don't think about it. Motherfucker, it's in my face. I'm living it. Can't tell me not to think about it. Can't tell me not to think about it when it's my reality. So, but at the same time, I know I gotta override that shit. So I know it's a fact, but I have to change right now so I can change my fucking tomorrow. So I know both of these things are happening, and it's finding that middle ground to, okay, how am I going to ride this? How am I going to navigate through this? And this is, like I said, this process I went through. So things popped up into my attention to make me recognize that I have some deeper shit that I had to fix. I had to figure out and fix it. And it was all connecting to the state of, I feel like a fucking loser. And how do I get rid of that? Well, I had to recognize where it came from my past, to make me not feel like a fucking loser right now. Because in actuality, I know I'm not a fucking loser because society says I ain't got no money. I just happen to have no fucking money. You know, I have a brand that hasn't moved, but it doesn't mean I'm a fucking loser, because I could create shit. You know, I make something extraordinary, but just because I can't get it out to people doesn't make me a fucking loser. Just means I need to find marketing skills or people who can, you know, help me with the marketing. But it doesn't make me a fucking loser. It just makes me in a position where I got to grow. And so it's how I look at it. You know, it's how I fucking mold it and look at it is what's going to make the difference. So I'm telling you this now, but about a week ago, I was all fucking broken up about it, crying my ass off, just fucking, it hurts. It fucking hurts. So I don't want you to think that I'm just fucking happy-go-lucky and everything's fucking great. We break down only so that we can fucking rebuild up, because the old shit is not allowing us to be able to move forward in a flow. And so that's what I'm sharing is what other people or what society would see as being a fucking failure. I'm sharing with you, you know? I'm sharing with you not because I'm putting myself in a vulnerable position to be attacked. It's I can be vulnerable with myself because I need to fix myself. I need to reorganize myself. And these are the points I have to fucking look at so that I can be able to catch that flow, change that emotion, create the thought, and fucking move forward. And so these are the things that happened to me to let me know that I had some old shit to get fixed that had everything to do with my breakdown at Christmas time. So something happened where my sister went and bought something for only 2 kids when there was 3 kids, my daughter and my nieces, right? So she buys 2 drinks for them to share, but boom, it hit a fucking trigger of something that happened to me when I was a kid, and I fucking was bothered. And I recognized I was triggered, and I recognized that if I have a trigger, there's some shit there I gotta fucking fix that has to do with my past fucking up my present, right? And so that shit bothered me so much, and I was like, damn, let me tell you about a story. Let me tell you about something that happened to me when I was a kid. And that's why I don't like that there's only 2 drinks. You know, get another drink, or let's separate into 3 cups. But that shit was fucking with me really bad. And the kids didn't know why I was bothered. My sister didn't know why I was bothered. It was not a big deal for them. It was a fucking huge deal for me. And so I told them the story. And that story was when I was a kid, I was always left at somebody's house to be taken care of. So I was always in somebody's care, except for my mom's care. You know, I didn't grow up with a dad. I don't know her dad. So my mom wasn't there. And so I'm in these people's house, and these people took care of me all the time, off and on. And I would remember every fucking weekend that I was there, they'd buy their kids these big foots, you know, these donuts. They look like feet or bear claws or whatever they call them. It looks like a giant foot, right? And I wouldn't get one. They'd buy it for their kids or 2 kids all the time, and I wouldn't get one. I want to know why I couldn't have one. You know, it made me feel like shit. And that's fucked up to do that to a kid, you know? And so I wouldn't get one because I wasn't family or I wasn't her kids. And, well, I already fucking knew that, but can I still have a donut that looks like theirs? A big donut, right? And so it made me feel fucking insignificant. It made me feel like shit. It made me feel unwanted more than unwanted, you know, that the feeling of not being wanted that I already had accumulated that I didn't even know I had, you know? Rejection, just not good enough to be able to get a big fucking donut, a donut foot, or whatever the hell it's called, a bear claw. So I tell this story to them. Everybody starts laughing. I start laughing, but it's the fucking truth. You know, that shit fucking triggered me. And so my sister went and got another one. Everybody drank their drinks, and I was like, fuck, I probably got to work on that shit, you know, because that shit bothered me so much. And so I let it go, and we went to the beach, had some fun. And before we went to the beach, I stopped at my aunt's house, and she gets some stuff to the kids, and you won't fucking believe what she gives. You won't believe what was on the fucking table, because I haven't seen one of those foot donuts since then. Like, I don't pay no attention to those foot donuts until that day, because I'm telling and reminiscing about that story. My aunt, that same day, has those fucking foot claws or bear claw donuts on her table. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. How the fuck is that donut that I just spoke about that affected me so many years ago? How's that motherfucker right here, right now? Well, those are the coincidences that synchronize with pay attention right here, X marks the spot. And I'm like, what does this have to do with, what do I do with this information? Like, why is this happening? Why is this synchronicity happening? Why is this coincidence happening? And then, here's another coincidence. And this is very important to pay attention to coincidences and synchronicities, because they will lead you to where you gotta fucking dig, because X marks the spot and you're gonna find some fucking gold right there. Your gold. The gold that digs you out of your fucking hole and you find yourself. Because we start recognizing what needs to get fixed in our emotions from the past. And it doesn't mean you gotta fucking reminisce on all your fucking past. It just means X marks the spot. I see it, I accept it, only so I can move it the fuck out. So I can move it out, so I can change that feeling inside. You know, that feeling of I ain't got no fucking self-worth, I'm fucking not worthy, I'm a piece of shit, and I got no fucking value because I got nothing for my kids. You know, that's how I feel. And I wasn't able to change that feeling. And so that same day, another synchronicity happened, that this person that I'm telling you about, one of their kids that used to get that foot claw or that bear claw, I can't fucking remember the goddamn name of the donut, that bear claw, she put a text or a comment on my Facebook when we don't comment back and forth. Maybe we did once when we first started many years ago when I found her, maybe over 6 years ago, but there's no back and forth communication between me and her at all. And the day I talk about the bear claw, the day I see the bear claw is the day she decides to make a comment or say something on my social media. I'm like, what the fuck? Coincidence that is outrageously impossible to synchronize on the same day unless there's X marks the spot in that motherfucker, so I gotta pay extra attention. So I'm just like, alright, I gotta look into this fucking donut situation that affected my life. That's affecting me right now. And so I'm trying to make the connection, right? Very long story short, I was listening to a read that same night, later that night, and that read triggered the fuck out of me. I mean, triggered me so bad that I thought I was gonna burn a hole in the wall that was in front of me just out of the fucking the frustration that it was creating inside of me, right? The fucking focus. I could feel the fucking laser beams coming out of my fucking eyeballs. And it was talking about how I have to accept the failure, how I have to accept being wrong. I have to accept the humiliation. I was like, fuck no, I ain't accepting. I've accepted my whole fucking life humiliation. I've accepted it. And not because I wanted it, it's because it was always happening to me. In school, I was bullied. As a boxer, I got the worst fucking humiliation in Mandalay Bay. My body didn't work and all these people could fucking see it, and you ain't got no fucking excuse as a boxer. You can't say why you lost, but I couldn't move my fucking body. That was so fucking humiliating for me, you know? It was one of the most humiliating moments of my life. And in school, can't even fucking talk about how much humiliation I went through school, you know? It was a constant basis. It was a regular and humiliation and feeling like you're nothing, and people telling you you're nothing and that you're ugly and that you're fat. And it's just, you know, it's a story that so many people live. But it's stuff that I just forgot about and never even recognized it until it all fucking hit me, you know. It all just fucking fell. Boom. And it all had to do with the fucking donut. The fucking donut. So this bear claw donut, I'm making the connection. I'm like, why do I feel like a fucking loser? Why is this donut in my life today? And all these coincidences have to do with me feeling insignificant with that donut situation. Like, I'm not important. I ain't got no fucking value. I ain't no fucking buddy. I'm not important enough to have a fucking bear claw donut, you know? And I said, that's what it is. I feel like a fucking piece of shit and a loser and a failure to myself, to my children, because I don't have nothing. And this nothingness is reminding me of my past, and my past is why I cannot accept my fucking future. I can't accept my present, not my future, but my present state. So I had to go to fucking cry, like cry deep, because I remembered all those fucking feelings and emotions that I had buried and just forgot about. And I looked at them and I felt them and I accepted. When I say accepted, meaning I let them come in. I let myself remember, because that's the key right there. If we don't accept to recognize and acknowledge it, we can't let it go. And that motherfucker stays right there like a broken fucking, like a virus in the computer system. Like say, I'm giving an analogy. If you got a bad file that's a corrupt file and it's in your computer, that shit's gonna always fuck with your system. And we think that we forget, but that shit is running in our subconscious, and the subconscious projects and creates and affects the field of reality. I'm going to give you a quote to help you understand what I'm talking about, so it sinks in a little bit better. But what I'm trying to say here is I accepted it, and I remembered, and I felt it, and I fucking cried, and I laid like a baby. I laid like a fucking baby in a fetal position, you know? And I just had to fucking feel it. And then I said, I take all of these emotions that are affecting my present time right now, because they're affecting my present time. I lost camera space, had to push pause, but it was about releasing, recognizing the emotion from the past so that I can let it go. And that's the key. Recognizing, accepting it's fucking there, so that you can fucking grab it mentally and fucking move that motherfucker out into the trash bin, literally. And so if you don't mentalize that shit, that motherfucker will always haunt you for the rest of your fucking life, and we don't recognize that's affecting our present. So this is a quote I want to state that'll make this shit make some sense, right? Because who wants to hear about wishful fucking thinking, about our thoughts create reality, unless you can put some fucking science into that. So I like science behind everything that is presented. It's just how I am. And so I found this book. Actually, I just heard it today. I just fucking heard it today. And I was like, boom, I'm going to add this, because this is a key to understanding why it is what it is. Why thoughts create reality. So this book is from 1944. It's a 40-minute video, so I'm going to post it on the bottom so you guys can listen to it. And it will just change a perspective of how we see reality, right? How we've been taught to behave, and the conditions that we're in don't match this. Meaning that if we knew this, what's in this book, this tiny little book, we wouldn't behave the way we behave in our reality, and we wouldn't accept the shit that goes on as far as our structure in society. We wouldn't accept that shit. So the book is Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard, and I probably pronounced that right, but it'll be written. And again, this is from 1944, and this is a quote: "Because creation is the result of subconscious impressions, you by your feelings determine creation." Meaning our subconscious is a motherfucking projector in this field. And so it's not what my present is seeing, my conscious is seeing, it's the information that's going in the subconscious. That it means that what I see here is the information that goes back there, and that back there projects out here, and it's fucking shit up if the information is not the right one. And that information is the fucking circumstances that we live from childhood on up. And they're fucked up for so many, right? Fucked up for so many. And so how do we deny that reality is what it is when we're fucking living it? You know, we're in it. And that's not a reality for many. And the comfortable can say, well, you just change your thoughts. It ain't fucking that easy. And so that's what this whole video was about, is me being vulnerable, me showing you where the fuck I'm really at. And life ain't perfect, but it's about knowing how to get the fuck up out of it. How to get up out of it. How to rise from that fucking breakdown. It's going to happen regularly. Pow, 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 pow. But how to recognize the coincidences, the synchronicities, where we need to pay attention to, so that we can change how we think by first changing how we feel. And those are the steps that I use to change my words to be able to get to where I gotta go. And where I'm going is always up. always forward, always in a growth and expansion. I may sit still, I may fall down, I may move from left then to right, I may take a fucking pause and hold my position, but I will never ever fucking stay down. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to fucking stay down. So no matter what the conditions are and the circumstances, we can always override the situation that we face by changing how we feel. Alright? This is Michelle, Angelic, forgetting who the fuck I am. Michelle Angelic, Truth and Integrity Warrior, telling you that we can always rise from whatever position that we're in. Alright? Love you guys. Peace out.